Hi, I'm Megan Powell from the Essex Bridge Center, and today's lesson is about the basics of how an opponent gets into the auction in this beginner course for the very first time. The opponent has several options for bidding in the auction after there's an opening bid, but today's lesson focuses on the most common way that an opponent gets into the auction, and it's called a simple overcall. Let's get started. Before we get ourselves into the meat of today's lesson, it would be a good time for us to do some general review of where we've come so far in this class. One of the things that we want to make sure we're focusing on is trying to figure out whether or not we can play in a game contract or not. Game contracts score very, very well. And whenever we can get to game with our partner, we want to for that extra high-level score that we can earn. Now, in the major suits, the game level, if you look on your bidding ladder, is at the 4 level, 4 hearts or 4 spades. Now, your partnership needs to figure out through the auction process that you have 25 partnership points together, and you need an 8-card or longer fit together in your major suit. You will have to take 10 out of 13 tricks. You can afford 3 losing tricks and still make your contract. Now, the second type of desirable game contract is in no trump, playing without a trump suit. You still figure out through the auction process if you have 25 partnership points together, but you don't have a major suit fit together. So you will play without a trump suit. Your partnership needs those 25 points together. And then when you play in 3 no trump, which is the game level, you need to take 9 winning tricks to make the contract. You can afford to lose 4 tricks and still make that contract. Now, we have not yet talked in any detail about the other 2 kinds of game contracts. These are the minor suit games, 5 clubs or 5 diamonds. Boy, we just don't go to minor suit games very often. They score so badly. We often try to find a different route to some kind of game contract if we, in fact, have a fit in a minor suit. And we'll talk about that route that we take to some other place in future lessons. But if we are going to play in a minor suit game contract, the partnership needs to figure out through the auction that they have 28 or more points together, because you're going to need extra winners. In addition to your 8-card minor suit fit, you're going to have to take 11 out of 13 tricks, and that's not easy to do. You can only afford to lose 2 tricks to make that contract at the 5 level. That's why you need 28 or more points together in addition to your fit. So game contracts are very desirable, particularly major suit games and no trump games, because they score so well. Now, let's say that it is your turn to look at your hand and you have 12 to 20 high card points in your hand, and no one else has made an opening bid yet in the auction. You can be the opener. Now, the most desirable opening bid is to open a major suit, but you must have 12 to 20 high card points and 5 cards or more in that major suit, and you would open 1 heart or 1 spade. But let's say that you do own between 12 to 20 high card points and do not have a 5-card major. Well, you would consider then whether or not you can open 1 no trump. But a 1 no trump opener has very specific requirements. There's a point requirement and a shape requirement. It's not enough to be 12 to 20. Within that big range, you specifically need to be 15, 16, or 17 balanced points. Now, what do I mean by that? Balanced points? Well, the 15, 16, 17 is your point count. The balanced portion has to do with the shape of your hand. What is a balanced hand? It means you do not have a 5-card major. If you had 16 points in a 5-card heart suit, you would open 1 heart, because that would fall under 12 to 20 points. So if you open one no trump, you are saying, I do not have a 5-card major. You are also telling your own partner you do not have any singletons, you do not have any voids. You might have a suit that is a doubleton, a 2-card suit. But if you have a suit like that, there is only one suit like that in your hand in order for it to be a balanced hand. You would then open one no trump with 15 to 17 points in a balanced hand. Now, if you do not have a 5-card major and you do not meet the requirements to open one no trump, with 12 to 20 high card points, you are absolutely going to open something. And that something will be a minor suit, 1 club or 1 diamond. So you look at your hand and you say, no, I don't have a 5-card major with my 12 to 20 points. No, I don't meet the specific requirements to open one no trump with my somewhere between 12 to 20 points. You might have 15 to 17, but you might not have a balanced hand, or you might have a balanced hand, but not the 15 to 17. So with 12 to 20 points, you will still open something. That something will be your longest minor suit. That minor suit could be as few as 3 cards. Your job is to get the auction started, opening 1 club or 1 diamond, a minor suit. Now, your partner across the table is the responder. How will your partner react? Responder, if your partner has opened 1 heart or 1 spade, you want to stay in that major suit if possible. You look in your hand, responder. Do you have 3 or more cards in that same major suit to support opener's bid? That would get you to an 8-card major suit fit. You get to add distribution right now, responder, before you make your first bid. You add 3 points for voids, 2 points for singletons, 1 point for doubletons. For each one, you would add distribution. And now you're going to make a first responding bid, raising opener's major suit and showing just how much help you can give. If you have 6 to 9 minimum responding points, you will raise to 2 hearts or 2 spades. If you have 10 to 12 responding points, you have an invitational responding hand and you will raise to 3 hearts or 3 spades. You are inviting your partner to go to game. If your responding hand has 13 or more points opposite openers 12 to 20, well, you know there are 25 points. You can go to 4 hearts or 4 spades, the game level, responder. Right? So if partner opened a major, you are going to raise opener's major suit if you have 3 or more card support and 6 or more points. Now, what if your partner did not open a major suit? What if partner opened 1 no trump, showing that 15, 16, 17 point hand with balanced shape? Well, you, responder, at this point in your bridge career are going to bid what we call naturally. You do not add distribution. There is no known suit fit. But with 10 or more high card points, responder, opposite openers 15 to 17, you know that you have 25 points together. That's game. You bid the game in 3 no trump. If you have 8 or 9 responding high card points, well, you know that you have almost enough responding points for openers 15 to 17 points to find 25 together. And you would bid almost game in no trump. 8 or 9 high card points is the invitational level of points. Opposite a no trump opener, you would invite in 2 no trump. And responder, if you had 0 to 7 high card points, well, at this point in your bridge career, you cannot help opener. So you would pass and you would let your partner just play in 1 no trump. So what happens if your partner has not opened a 5-card major and has not opened one no trump. Well, then partner probably opened one club or one diamond if partner opened at all. Now, your job, responder, is to think about, what is opener telling me? Opener is saying, look, partner, I don't have a 5-card or longer major. Opener is also saying, I do not have all of the requirements to open one no trump. I do not have 15 to 17 points. I do not have a balanced hand. I don't have those two things together. So therefore, opener has started off the auction in one club or one diamond to show 12 to 20 high card points and as few as 3 cards in whichever minor suit partner has opened. Now, your first job, responder, when partner opens a minor suit, is to try and figure out, can we get ourselves back to a major suit? I hope we could find a major suit fit together. I know opener does not have 5 cards in a major, but opener could absolutely have 4 cards in a major suit. So responder, if you have at least 4 cards in a major suit and you have at least 6 high card points, you are not going to add any distribution yet. Responder, you only add distribution when you have a known fit. And you don't know yet if you will find a fit. So with 4 or more cards in a new major suit, responder, and at least 6 high card points, responder will change the auction from opener's minor suit to either 1 heart or 1 spade, depending on which suit has 4 or more cards. If responder is holding 2 4-card majors, 4 hearts and 4 spades, responder, you will always respond 1 heart. Always. You don't want to miss a heart fit. Now, partner has opened one of a minor suit. Responder has changed the auction to one of a major suit. Opener's job would be to look at the opening hand again and see if opener has 4 cards in responder's major suit. If so, yay, there is a 4-4 major suit fit, and opener knows that right now. Opener immediately adds distribution, 3 points for any voids, 2 points for any singletons, 1 point for any doubletons. And then opener is going to use the opener ranges and raise responder's new major suit. That's going to end up being the trump suit. Okay? Opener, your job is to show responder just how much help you can give between 12 and 20 points in your opening hand. Remember, you are still the opener. If you have between 12 and 15 total opening points, now that included distribution, you could raise responder's new major suit to the 2 level. If opener, when you added distribution, you are up to 16 to 18 opening points in your 12 to 20, then you have enough opening points to be a medium or invitational opening hand, and you would raise to the invitational level, the 3 level. And if responder, you had 19 to 20 or even more opening points, opposite responders 6 or more high card points. Well, that math will reinforce that you have at least 25 points together and you have a fit in with responder's major suit. You would go to the game level as your second bid opener, as openers rebid. Okay? If opener does not have a fit with responder's new major suit, opener, well, we'll discuss that in future lessons down the road. Okay? So let's get to our new information for today's lesson. Today's lesson is how the opponents begin to get into this auction. When an opponent makes a bid in the auction, most of the time, that opponent will be making something called a simple overcall. Now, an opponent has a number of bids in his or her toolbox, but we are only talking about this one type of bid, a simple overcall by the opponent. Now, remember that opener started the auction with 12 to 20 high card points. Opener had either a 5-card major and opened one heart or one spade, or had 15 to 17 points on a balanced hand and opened one no trump, or had 12 to 20 points and no 5-card major and not the requirements for no trump, and instead opened 3 or more cards in a minor suit, one club or one diamond. Now, the opponent does not need the same requirements to make a simple overcall. Opponent would never get into the auction if opponent always needed to have that 12 to 20 high card points. There just are not enough points to go around. So the opponent to get into the auction does not need the same level of requirements. And here's why. There are 3 main reasons why an opponent makes a simple overcall to get into the auction for that partnership. And the main reason is this. Opponent, you are actually not expecting to take the auction away from opener and responder. Usually you don't. Usually the opener and responder keep bidding and they end up with a contract. But what you are doing, opponent, when you make a simple overcall, is you are telling your own partner across the table that when we get to the play of the hand, hey partner, this is my suit. Lead me my suit. If you ever get the lead, if you ever win a trick, lead this suit back to me. I have a winner or two in this suit, and I want to take those winners early if I can, before the opener starts trumping my suit. So your main reason, opponent, to make a simple overcall is to tell your own partner what suit to lead once you get to the play of the hand piece of the hand. All right. Now, there are 2 other reasons. One of those reasons is that at times it is possible to disrupt the flow, the rhythm between opener and responder. Sometimes you make it more difficult for a responder to continue bidding, depending on the kind of overcall you make. So it's a reasonable interruption. The third reason is that occasionally the opponent who makes a simple overcall and that person's partner actually end up with the bulk of the points. It is possible for the overcaller and overcaller's partner to actually be the ones who rightfully own a contract on this hand, because while there was an opening bid, that's all the points that partnership had. It's possible that the bulk of the points on the hand belong to opener and opener's partner, and they should find a contract. All right, so those are the 3 main reasons we even make a simple overcall if we are the opponent. Now, how does this work? So the opener has made an opening bid, and the next person to bid is an opponent. To make a 1-level simple overcall, a bid on the 1 level for the overcaller, that opponent needs to have 8 to 16 high card points. See, that's fewer than 12 for the opener, right? Right. If an opponent can make a 1-level simple overcall, that opponent needs 8 to 16 high card points. That opponent also needs 5 or more cards in whatever suit they're going to use as their overcall suit. Now, that can be a major suit or a minor suit. Remember, your primary reason for making an overcall is to tell partner what suit to lead during the play of the hand. Your overcall suit should have at least 1 high honor. That means your overcall suit should have the ace or the king in that suit. You are going to try and win at least 1 trick. You do not add any distribution at all before you make your overcall bid, opponent. You are using high card points only. You do not know if there's going to be a fit with your own partner. All right. And you always, opponent, make an overcall bid on the 1 level, even if your suit has 16 high, even if your whole hand has 16 high card points. Now, remember that 8 to 16 points that you need is spread out among in the entire hand. It's not 8 to 16 high card points within your 5-card suit. It's 8 to 16 high card points in your entire hand, opponent. entire hand, and you have to have at least one high honor in that 5-card suit you're going to use as an overcall suit. But even if you held 15 or 16 high card points, you would make your simple overcall on the 1 level if you could still bid your suit on the 1 level. Now, sometimes you will have to make a 2-level simple overcall. You will no longer bid it on the 1 level. You need to have just a little bit more in the point count. You need more like 10 to 16 high card points throughout your entire hand. You still need a 5-card or longer suit, major or minor. That suit should still have the ace or the king in it. You are still hoping to tell your partner, hey, this is my suit, lead it to me, I want to win a trick. No distribution, right, opponent? Don't add any distribution, you're using high card points. Now, remember, you are still always making an overcall on the 1 level if you can still fit your suit on the 1 level. If your suit is still available to bid on the 1 level, bid that suit on the 1 level, absolutely. But if you must bid it on the 2 level because there's no place to bid it on the 1 level, that's when you need to have 10 to 16 high card points in your entire hand. You need 10, not 8, as a bottom number. So let's say that the auction has started, and let's even say the dealer had an opening hand. Well, opener is considered first seat in the auction. And then the auction moved clockwise to the opponent, and the opponent made an overcall in second seat. So responder then is in third seat. Responder is the partner to the opener, remember? Just like we've learned all along. Opener and responder are partners. Now, responder, you're going to try a little bit to ignore that there might have been an overcall bid to your right by the opponent. You're going to try and make a responding bid the absolute usual way you do. Very often, when an opponent makes an overcall bid, they don't stop the responder from doing what responder wants to do. That happens a lot, that the responder can just keep doing whatever responding bids that we've learned, okay? So let's assume that responder does whatever he or she is going to do, and then the auction moves to the 4th seat. And we've got yet another new vocabulary term for the auction. Absolutely, I know you're excited. The advancer is the partner of the overcaller. That is the other opponent. Advancer is in 4th seat. Now, advancer, honestly, you very, very, very often pass. Because if 3 people have points and are bidding, there really isn't much left for you in 4th seat. So now we have a whole bunch of vocabulary terms in the auction, and I think it would help for us to have a visual. So let's say that we got these 4 guys together and they are playing a bridge hand. And let's say that this little guy down the bottom was our opener. That's the person who made an opening bid, first seat. The opener is considered first seat, okay? And so then the auction moved clockwise to opener's left, to this guy. That's the first opponent who gets a chance to make a bid. And let's say that that little guy, in fact, made an overcall bid. So now the opener has bid an opening suit, and the player to opener's left, the first opponent, made an overcall in a different suit. Okay? The auction continues moving clockwise to this dude. This is the responder in 3rd seat. Responder, your partner across the table is the opener. The 2 of you are partners. You're working together, just like we've always learned. And so responder will, in fact, try to make some kind of responding bid based on the rules we've already learned. Now, there's still a 4th person here at this table, right? This guy is the advancer. The advancer is seated across from the overcaller. Advancer and overcaller are partners. So now both partnerships are going to work with their own partner to try and make something happen for them. Advancers, you treat your overcalling partner like they opened. That's really what you do. You basically act like a responder. At this point in your bridge career, that's as simple as we're going to make this. And we're going to say right now that if you, in fact, have a fit with your partner's overcall suit. Now, remember, your partner, when he or she overcalled, is supposed to have a 5-card suit. So, advancer, you need 3 cards to have a fit with your partner's overcall suit. You add distribution, advancer, and you make an advancing bid, but it's going to look a lot like a responding bid. If you have 0 to 5 points, you're passing. If you have 6 to 9 points, you can raise partner's overcall suit to the 2 level if it's not already there. If it's already at the 2 level and you have 6 to 9 points, well, you do not have a bid. You would pass. Because with 6 to 9 points, you have no business going above the 2 level. You have a minimum advancing hand, just like a responder. If you have 10 or more points, at this point in your bridge career, what we're telling you is make an invitational bid. You have similar to an invitational responding hand. So with 10 or more points, raise your partner's overcall suit to the 3 level, the invitational level. Now, if you do not have a fit, if you do not have 3 cards to go with overcall or suit, you are passing. Okay? There you go. We'll add more nuance to this down the road, but for now, you need a fit with your partner's overcall suit to bid anything, advancer. Now, one more last thing about overcalling in general. I am talking about suit bidding at the table. The opener has started the auction in a suit bid, 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 spade. Not 1 no trump. Opener has started with a suit bid. Opening 1 no trump is not opening a suit. No trump is not a suit. So opener has started the auction in 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 spade. The overcaller has bid a different suit. Again, not no trump. Why am I making this distinction? Well, overcallers, you do not make a simple overcall if the player to your right, the opener, has started the auction in 1 no trump. So let's say the opening bid is 1 no trump, and you are the next person, the opponent, to bid. You're passing. You do not make a simple overcall if the player to your right has opened 1 no trump. Not at this point in your bridge career, okay? There are special rules for that. Overcallers, you only make a simple overcall if the player to your right has opened in a suit bid, 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 spade. Likewise, suppose the player to your right has opened 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 heart, or 1 spade. Overcaller, 1 no trump is not an overcall for you. Not, at least not at this point in your bridge career. If you make an overcall, it's in a different suit from the opener. 2 suits will have been bid at the table when opener bids and when the overcaller bids. 2 different suits only. So let's walk through a few hands and see if we can apply the concepts of simple overcalls, and then what does the advancer, the partner to the overcaller, do? These examples are not in your textbook. You have examples in your textbook to work on. What I'm hoping is that you can take the information from this explanation and apply it to the information in your text to absolutely kind of reinforce and cement this knowledge with what your text has, okay? So this example is on my screen and not in your book. I'm going to call this example A, and I'm going to make North the dealer. North will be the dealer on all of our example hands here. Now take a look at North's hand. North, you have 12 to 20 high card points, don't you? Yes, you do. You say to yourself, well, as the opener, my first job is to look for 5 or more cards in a major suit. And North, you have 5 or more heart cards. Fantastic. Your opening bid should be 1 heart. So far, so good? All right. Now the auction's going to move clockwise from North's hand. The auction's going to go to East. East is the opponent. East, you are looking to get into this auction as the opponent. And the first thing you look for as an opponent is whether or not you meet the requirements to make a simple overcall. So what would you need? In order to make a 1-level simple overcall, if you could still bid on the 1 level, you would need 8 to 16 high card points. Well, you have 10 high card points. Now, there's not a lot left to bid on the one level, is there? Remember, we're only bidding suits. The only suit remaining is the spade suit on the one level. But that is the suit you have, isn't it, East? You have a 5-card spade suit. You have at least one high honor. You have the ace. You have 8 to 16 high card points. East. Sounds like you have a simple overcall on the one level. And if I were East, I would absolutely bid 1 spade. Now, what you're telling your partner in West is, hey, partner, in my entire hand, I have between 8 to 16 high card points. But more specifically, I have a 5-card or longer spade suit. That spade suit has at least one high honor, the ace or the king. I'm telling you, partner in West, that maybe we won't take this contract, this auction away from North and South, but I want you to remember, West, to lead spades to me if you ever get a chance. That's the primary reason to make a simple overcall. Now the auction moves to South. South is the responder, opener's partner. South, you want to narrow your thinking to how can I help the opener? The opening partner opened a major suit, 1 heart, and you try to look to see if you have help. Well, South, you have 3 or more cards in North's opening heart suit, don't you? That's an 8-card fit. You get to add 1 distribution point, South, for your club doubleton, and now you have 10 invitational responding points. Here are your responder ranges. Remember these? With 10 responding points, invitational points, you have an invitational responding bid to make here. That's the 3 level. Invitation always means 1 level below game. So South, you should jump up to 3 hearts. It specifically tells your partner in North, hey, we have a heart fit. And now, once I've added distribution, I'm showing you, North, that I can take us almost to 25 points. I have 10, 11, or 12 responding points to help your 12 to 20 points. I just don't know whether you're 12 or whether you're 20 or where you are in between. So I'm going to put this back in your wheelhouse, North. I'm letting you know I have 10 to 12 responding points. Now the auction moves clockwise again to West. West, you are the overcaller's partner, the advancer. You look at your hand. You have 3 cards to go with East's spade overcall suit. You have a spade fit. Fantastic. Remember, East had to have 5 cards to make an overcall. Had to have a 5-card suit to make an overcall. But East, you just have 6 high card points, don't you? Now remember, you're bidding like a responder. And if you have just 6 high card points, you have a minimum advancing hand, a minimum responding like hand. You could afford to raise the spades to the 2 level, couldn't you? That's what a minimum responder or advancer does. But the auction has blown past the 2 level. The auction is already at the 3 level. And West, you would have to have invitational points like a responder, 10 or more, 10 to 12, to bid 3 spades. And you don't have that, West. So while you do have a fit with your partner's overcall suit, you do not have enough advancing points to compete at this point in this auction. You would need 10 or more advancing points to have an invitational-like handle, just like a responder. So you're going to pass, West. You don't tell your partner about the fit. You just can't. You can't do it. You'd be pushing the contract too high. Now the auction returns to North. North, you say to yourself, well, my partner in South, the responder, has shown me a heart fit. Yay. North, you get to add some distribution. And I'm going to tell you that, here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm just going to tell you you're adding distribution. When we get to Bridge 2, I'm going to talk about how much distribution you might add on this hand. I'm not actually going to talk about it now. All right, I'm letting it go, and you should too. But let's say that you have at least 16 points when you added distribution, North, in your opening hand. You have at least 16 points. Well, remember our opener's chart? You have 16 points. But when you get to the opener second bid and responder second bid, you also have to think about math. And if your partner, the responder in South, is promising you 10 or more responding points, and you, North, have at least 16 points, well, then you know you have 25 points, don't you? Just math. So you should take this contract to game, North, knowing you have 25 points between you. And that's where this contract gets played. North is going to become declare in 4 hearts. Now, on this hand, East, you did make a spade overcall, but you did not take the contract away from opener and responder, North and South, right? However, you did tell West, your partner, what suit to lead. And take a look at West's hand. West is going to win the ace of trump, the ace of hearts. What will West do immediately after winning that ace of hearts? Lead spades. And East is going to win at least one trick in spades on this hand. That's what East is hoping for. All right, let's do another hand together. This is example B. North is the dealer, 12 to 20 high card points, 5 card major. North opens 1 heart. The auction moves clockwise to East, the first opponent who can speak. East, you have a 5 card suit, and you even have 2 honors in it. You have the ace and you have the queen in the diamond suit. Is this a simple overcall? Well, the thing here is that, yes, you have a 5 card suit with a high honor, but you could no longer bid those diamonds on the 1 level, could you? Not after North opens 1 heart. You may not go backward down the bidding ladder. And you'd have to go upward. So you would have to overcall on the 2 level with that diamond suit. Now you have the 5 cards you need with a high honor, but to make a simple overcall on the 2 level when you can no longer bid on the 1 level with your suit, you now have to have 10 to 16 high card points. Well, the good news is you have 15, East. You have plenty of points. You have a 5 card or longer suit to make a simple overcall with, and that suit has a high honor. I would absolutely make an overcall, East, but your overcall is going to be on the 2 level. 2 diamonds. You are telling your own partner, hey, lead this suit if you ever get the chance to win a trick. The auction moves to South, the responder. Now, South, you take a look at what your partner has told you in North. North has opened a major suit. Do you, South, have a fit in opener's major suit? You would need 3 or more heart cards, and you have that, South. Now, you have no distribution to add. You don't have any singletons or doubletons or voids. You have 9 responding points. We'll look at the point chart here. You can raise your partner's suit to the 2 level with 6 to 9 minimum responding points. And so that's what you do, South. 2 hearts. You are showing specifically a heart fit and 6 to 9 total minimum responding points. Now, West, well, West, you have only 4 high card points. That's not enough to bid. You have to have, just like a responder, at least 6 points to do anything. So don't even think about it, West. You have nothing to offer. If you don't even have 6 or more points, you should not even be thinking about what to do. You just pass. Just remember that East bid diamonds, and you should lead that suit if you ever win a trick. Now, North, we come back to you. You know the partnership has a heart fit, right? North, you get to add 1 distribution point, and now you have 13 opening points. Now, you're a minimum opener, and South has promised 6 to 9 minimum responding points. Let's look at the chart. If you're a minimum opener, you can afford to be on the 2 level with your 12 to 15 minimum opening points. Well, if that's true, it says on the chart you can afford the 2 level, but you're already on the 2 level, aren't you? Opener, you would have to have 16 to 18 points to go up to the 3 level. You would have to be an invitational opener. You don't have 16 to 18 points. You can only afford the 2 level. Here's another way to think about it. Math. If North is promising you 6 to 9 points as responder, assume North has the upper end, 9 points. And you have 12 to 15 opening points, North. Whoops. I have that backwards, by the way. I apologize. That's supposed to be South, right? South has that, and North has that. Sorry about that. So if South's responding hand has 6 to 9 points, and your opening hand has 12 to 15 points, and actually, you know, North, you have 13 points with distribution. Even if South were at 9 in the 6 to 9 points, can you get to 25 points? If South has 9 and you have 13, there's no 25, not in any way. Therefore, there is no point in bidding higher. You should pass, North. If there's no hope of 25 points, pass, don't bid higher. And then East, you made the overcall, but you don't have a second bid in the auction. And in general, overcallers don't. They usually have one bid, and you should pass. And now that makes 3 passes, doesn't it? Who's the declarer on this hand? North is, and the contract is 2 hearts. East, you made a diamond overcall, but your primary reason to make an overcall is to tell West, your partner, what suit to lead if West ever gets the chance to lead a suit. You've done your job, okay? Let's take a look at another hand. This is example C that I'm going to offer you. North is our dealer. North has 12 to 20 points, has a 5-card major, 1 heart. East, you are in the second seat. You have 5 or more spade cards. You can still bid a 5-card suit on the 1 level. Now, you think about this. You have 5 cards in that suit. It is the spade suit. You have the ace in it. Yay. And you can still fit spades on the 1 level. So, East, you need 8 to 16 high card points. And if that's true, then you can make a 1-level simple overcall, 1 spade. 5 or more cards in that suit, 8 to 16 high card points. You have at least 1 high honor, the ace or the king, and you can still fit it on the 1 level. Bid 1 spade as a simple overcall. The auction goes to South, the responder. You are the partner to the opener. Your partner opened a major suit. You are looking for 3 card support in that major suit, and you have that, South. Great. You do not have any distribution to add here. You have 6 to 9 minimum responding points. There's your chart, right, for ranges with a fit. South, your job is to raise a minimum amount to 2 hearts, showing the fit and 6 to 9 minimum responding points. Now the auction goes to West. West, very often you don't have a lot to do. You often pass, but that's not always true, Advancer. Sometimes you do have something to say and you should look for something, but that something should be a fit with your partner's overcall suit. Now, you have 3 cards to go with East's implied 5-card spade suit. Remember, East had to have at least 5 cards to make an overcall in that spade suit. You have 3 cards. You do have a spade fit together. Now, you have no distribution to add, but you have 6 to 9 minimum points in your advancing hand, just like a responder. You can raise your partner's overcall to the 2 level, 2 spades. And look at this, all 4 players are competing now. All 4 players are trying to take this contract away from each other. North, we come back to you. Now you're the opening hand. South's responding hand has shown you 6 to 9 minimum responding points. North, aren't you still a minimum opener? Don't you still have 12 to 15 minimum opening points? If you had 16 to 18 minimum points, you could go up to the 3 level. You would have an invitational opening point count, but you don't have that. You have 12, 13, 14, or 15 opening points. And South has shown you 6 to 9 points. If you have 12 to 15 points, North, you can afford to be on the 2 level with your minimum opening point count. You are already on the 2 level. You do not have the points to continue up to the 3 level. Sorry, North, you would need 16 to 18 medium or invitational opening points, and you don't have it. You have to pass, North. Interesting. Now the auction goes back to the overcaller. East, you started off your partnership's bidding in one spade, and your partner in West, the advancer, supported that. Now, your advancer is showing you 6 to 9 minimum points. You, East, have 13, 14. You have a minimum an overcalling hand. And the way you can think about it is this point on your second bid is just like an opener. If you have up to 15 points, you are a minimum overcaller. If you have 16 to 18 points, you'd be a medium or invitational overcaller. But you don't have that, do you, East? If you had 16 to 18 points, just like an opener, you could make an invitational bid here in 3 spades, but you don't have that. You have up to 15 points, which would make you a minimum point count. You, East, are going to pass. And South, your responding hand has not yet improved. The first time around, you could only show on the 2 level, right? And you were not invited by North in any way. You have nothing more to say. You should pass. And that gets us 3 consecutive passes and the auction's over. Now, what's the contract on this hand? It's 2 spades, isn't it? That was the last thing that bid before the 3 passes. Who becomes the declarer? East does. If the contract is 2 spades, then the declarer is the person at the table who bid that suit first. And in this case, East, because your overcall hand bid 1 spade for your partnership, you bid spades first. So this is the first time we're seeing that the declarer might not be the opener or the responder. It's what's the contract? In this case, it's spades. Who bid spades first? Well, it was East, the overcaller. East becomes the declarer on this hand. East will become declarer, West will become dummy, and North and South, you were opener responder, but you're playing defense on this hand, right? Interesting. Interesting. East is going to play in 2 spades, and sometimes the overcaller and the advancer do have enough points and have the right shape, a fit together to take the contract away from an opener and a responder. They own the rightful contract. It does happen from time to time. All right. It's another reason why an opponent makes an overcall, because sometimes overcaller and advancer are the ones with the right amount of points and the right fit together to take the contract away from opener and responder. Let's look at one more hand together. This is my example D for you. North is our dealer, 12 to 20 high card points. Does not have a 5-card major suit, right? Does not meet the requirements to open 1 no trump. Doesn't have the points, does technically have the shape. A 5-card minor than 3-3-2 would be a no trump shape. But you need 15, 16, 17. You don't have that, North. So what are you going to do? You're going to open your longest minor suit, 1 club. That gets the auction started. The auction moves clockwise to East. East, you're going to try and figure out, can you make some kind of overcall to get your partnership into this auction? East, you have 10 high card points. Fantastic. You have the right point count to make a simple overcall on the 1 level, 8 to 16 points. Now, the other thing you need is a 5-card or longer suit. Oh, no, you do not have that, East. That's a requirement for a simple overcall. No, you should not make it with a 4-card suit. Absolutely not. That is not a simple overcall. So East, you do not actually have a bid here as the opponent. You would have to have 8 to 16 points and a 5-card or longer suit. Sorry, East, you're going to pass. You do not have a simple overcall. All right. Now the auction moves to South, the responder. South, generally speaking, your first job when your partner's opened a minor suit is for you, responder, to go on the hunt for a major suit fit, right? That's just your first job. North opened a minor suit, 1 club. You want to look at your hand and see, do you have 4 or more cards in a major suit? And in fact, you do, right? You have 4 spade cards. Fantastic. But in order to make a change of suit, to make any kind of responding bid, South, you have to have at least 6 high card points in your hand. That's not good. You have a measly 2 points, don't you? So it's possible that responder does not have a bid. Sometimes that's just true. with 2 measly points, responder, even though you have a 4-card major, you do not have the required 6 or more high card points. To make any kind of responding bid, you cannot show that spade suit. You must pass. And now the auction moves to the 4th player. You're the other opponent, right, West? Your partner in East did not make an overcall. Is West allowed to try and make an overcall now? And actually, the answer is yes, absolutely. An overcall is the first bid by an opponent. So when East passed, that was not a meaningful bid. That was not any kind of suit bid, right? West, you could try and make a meaningful bid now to be an overcaller. You could make a suit bid if you meet overcall requirements. That would be fine. Since East has passed first, you get to look West for the overcall requirements. Now you need 8 to 16 high card points to make a simple overcall on the 1 level. You also, and you have 15, right? Holy cow. You also need a 5-card or longer suit to make a simple overcall on the 1 level, and that suit should have at least 1 high honor in it. And you have the ace of hearts. All right. West, you have the goods to make a simple overcall on the 1 level, and you should do so. 1 heart. You become the overcaller, West. North, we come back to you. You're the opening hand. But North, remember, South passed. You do not have another bid. Should you bid those longish clubs again? Absolutely not. No. There might be times when an opener might bid again here. We'll talk about that down the road, but that time is not now. Opener, you had no help from your responder in South. You do not have another bid. Pass. East, you just became the advancer, right? Your partner in West became the overcaller. You now become the advancer, and you look for a fit in your partner's overcall suit. You have 3 heart cards to go with West's 5 or more hearts, a fit. And while you have no distribution to add, you have 10 advancing points. And just like a responder, that's the invitational level. East, you should invite to game 3 hearts. You're telling your partner in West, hey, I have a fit with your overcall suit, and I have at least 10 points in my advancing hand, just like a responder. It's an invitational point count, so I'm going to invite you to game 3 hearts. Now, South, your measly 2 points have nothing to say, right? Haven't gotten better. Pass. And now we return to West's overcall hand. West, you've been invited to game by your advancing partner. It means that your partner is showing you 10 or more points, right? You get to add distribution, West, now, because you know now there's a fit. You have at least 16 points. East is showing you at least 10 points. This is math. This is math. You know you have at least 25 points, and you should go to game 4 hearts. And that's where this contract gets played. Interesting. North opened because North had 12 to 20 points, right? But the bulk of the points on this hand do not belong to North and South, the opener and responder. They belong to advancer and overcaller. And yes, overcalls can happen in 4th seat instead of 2nd seat. So, new information this week. The opponents get into the auction if they meet certain criteria. Now, I'm going to remind you that the first player to make any kind of bid other than pass is an opener. And we're talking about opener making a suit bid, 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 heart, or 1 spade. The auction then moves clockwise to the opener's left. That player is the first opponent, right? And that opponent can get into this auction under certain conditions. You can make a bid here, opponent, in another suit, a different suit, under certain conditions. So what do you need, opponent, to bid in an auction after there's been an opening bid? Well, you need 8 to 16 high card points and a 5-card or longer new suit. It can be a major suit, it can be a minor suit, to make an overcalling bid on the 1 level. That suit needs to have at least 1 high honor in it, the ace or the king. With 8 to 16 points and at least 5 cards, you bid a new suit on the 1 level. If you must bid your suit on the 2 level, if you must do so. Then you need a little more in the point count. You need 10 to 16 points with your 5-card or longer suit and still a high honor. And then you can make a simple overcall on the 2 level. However, anytime you can still make your overcall suit on the 1 level, because it's still available, you absolutely make simple overcalls as cheaply as you can, whether you have 10 to 16 points or 16. I'm sorry, whether you have 8 points, 10 points, 12 points, or 16 points, you always bid your overcall suit on the 1 level if your suit is still available to bid, always. It's just that if you can no longer fit your overcall suit on the 1 level, you can't go down the bidding ladder, and you would be forced to show your overcall suit on the 2 level, that's when you must have 10 to 16 high card points, okay? Now, the opponent, when you make that bid, you are now given a title in the auction. You are the overcaller in the auction. So far we have the opener, and then the first opponent becomes the overcaller. Who's the third person to bid? That's the responder. That's the partner to the opener. I said overcaller. Look at that. That's wrong, isn't it? I was hoping you were going to catch that. My goodness. So responder, you are the partner to the opener, right? Just like you've always been. Responder, you attempt to make a bid using the usual responding rules. Hopefully you have a fit with your partner's major suit if partner opened a major suit. You add distribution. You raise opener's major suit based on your responding ranges. Remember, you must have at least 6 points in your hand, responder, to make any kind of responding bid. If you had 0 to 5 points, responder, you would pass. Now, the fourth person to get to play in the auction is usually the overcaller's partner. That's the advancer, okay? Now, you act very much like a responder. Do you have a fit with your partner's overcall suit? Remember, an overcall must be at least 5 cards. Therefore, advancers, you must have at least 3 cards to go with your partner's suit. Whether partner opened a major suit or a minor, overcalled a major suit or a minor suit. You do get to add distribution with a fit, and you act like a responder. 6 to 9 points, you can afford to bid the 2 level. With 10 or more points, you can afford to bid the 3 level. Now, sometimes an opponent makes a simple overcall, and advancer doesn't bid or does bid, but the opponent, the overcaller, and the advancer don't earn the contract. But sometimes the overcaller and the advancer have the bulk of the points, and they do take the contract from the opener. But the main reason for an opponent to make a simple overcall is to tell partner across the table, the advancer, which suit to lead during the play of the hand once the auction ends, so that you're leading the overcaller suit to them and maybe they can win a trick or two, all right? So a lot more information this week, but it's the first time we get the opponents into the auction. Now your job is to go back to your packet, your textbook, and look at this lesson and see if you can apply the information against the examples you have in the lesson. You know, you can email me with questions. I will see you soon. Take care.